What's up YouTube? I'm Sterling with Sterling Weed Pokemon, name pending. This is going to be one of many videos I'll be creating before I go to Pokemon Worlds in Anaheim, California 2025. Today I wanted to show you what happens when you pursue a financial burden and an addiction. I've seen a few creators on TikTok and YouTube do this. They blow it out of proportion. I've kept it on a relative budget, and I thought I would share mine as well. I'll be naming cards from a few sets from way back in the day, and I'll be honest, I have no idea how I procured these. I was quite the hustler at a young age, and I'm very convinced my friend still has a Mewtwo Star card that he traded me for a Blossom. Shout out to Thomas. I now also have gained the most powerful card of them all, my credit card, and that's how I was able to gather a handful of these Pokemon who haven't really been printed at all recently. We're talking Quilladin, Badoo, and a few others that I'll be showing you. A lot of these Pokemon I were missing were from the Black and White and X and Y era. I kind of fell off Pokemon card collecting during these times, but ramped up full speed right after COVID. I wouldn't say I was less interested in buying more cards, but this is the sort of time where I didn't have a lot of money. This is not the first binder I've started with. I originally had a 3-inch binder, classic 9 pocket on each side, and then just stuffed full with duplicate copies of the Pokemon stretching the pages. The thing was so massive, and if I continued on to Sword and Shield era and Scarlet and Violet, it would have destroyed the back section of the cards. So later on, I moved to this beautiful, ginormous 4x4 side-loading binder. I've never held it up like a picture book. I can barely get it in the shot. I'll be sharing my top 5 from each region, as well as a few others of note. Let's get to it. My top 5 from Kanto region are Squirtle from base set, Gengar from Gym Challenge, Flareon from Brilliant Stars, and Zapdos from Aquapolis. Aquapolis? I don't know. Finally, we have Mewtwo from Expedition. Since I'm a little fiend, I carry several Mewtwo's. To the Johto region, we have a few from the Neo series. I don't have a whole lot to say on these guys, as the older cards were before I had a very strong memory. What I do remember is trying to collect all the unknowns, and thank God I moved them to a separate binder. What is really striking about this is the sudden burst of full arts coming from later Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet sets. My favorites of this set are the Winking Trio from Heart Gold and Soul Silver era. Yes, I'll be counting that as one. Flaffy from Silver Tempest, Kingdra EX from Shrouded Fable, as well as this Ho-Oh EX card from Pop Series 3. The Hoenn region is when things got real. Elementary school. This is when Pokemon cards were traded, stored in the front pocket, and extorted through gambling, haggling, and general mental manipulation. I've lost some gems and managed to take home some as well. A true scramble. I feel full nostalgia anytime I look at the first EX era of cards and Delta species. My favorite 5 from this generation have to be the Shiftry EX and Aggron EX from Crystal Guardians, Lunatone from Crown Zenith, Salamence from the Dragon set, as well as this Groudon promo from Nintendo Power. I won't count my Rayquaza collection as I'm extremely biased. That'll be another video. Moving on to the Sinnoh region, this continued my greed for the cardstock. Just taking a look, I had almost a full collection of Sinnoh just from the era it was released in. I could not be stopped. I specifically remember the Arceus Series Platinum releasing. I had a full-size poster promotion staring at me from my bedroom wall until high school. I loved the trainer appearances and level X's. Oh my god, I need more. Sweet bliss. Too bad it was during a recession. Anyways, my favorite 5 are Garchomp X from Majestic Dawn, Gliscor X from Legends Awaken, Mars's Porygon Z from Arceus, and the Dialga promo from Diamond and Pearl base set, which I have the jumbo card of on the OG binder. Unova for me is where things fell off. The sets are being pushed out, didn't have any sort of gimmick, hard to get excited for Minccino and Lillipup after level X and EX cards. I had to rely on the power of TCG Player and filing through bulk at a local card store last year for these, but actually it was a great time getting to see all the sets I missed from this era. My favorite 5 are Pansear from Burning Shadows, Sock from Brilliant Stars, Trubbish from Guardians Rising, Fracture from Shrouded Fable, and Hydreigon from Dragons Exalted. I feel like the later sets hold better cards for these guys, hoping the upcoming Black Bolt and White Flare create some justice for these guys. I've seen a few of the full arts, and man, I am ecstatic. I wish I had more to say about Kalos. I'm really at a loss. They introduced the break cards initially, and those were some of the ugliest cards I've ever seen. You would think pure gold Pokemon were pretty good, but these, you could just tell they were certainly trying. I definitely feel like the Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet gave these a better chance of sticking out. Unfortunately, a couple of these Mons had not received any different card arts like Amura, Tyrant, and Quilladin. I definitely know Pokemon Legends ZA will fix this with a card game. Unbeknownst to me, who was only playing on my 3DS and had not been watching cable or shopping at Target, missed out on some of the greatest EX and Mega cards that are worth a down payment on a house today. My favorite 5 that I own are Braixen from Silver Tempest, Aegislash from Paradox Rift, Malamar from Silver Tempest, Aurorus EX promo, and Xerneas from Celebrations. Things get a little silly here in Sun and Moon, a time of GXs, Rainbow Rares, and tag teams. An old friend and I really got into the Sun and Moon base set on release. I remember the booster boxes were around $100 and were actually mapped out to have a hit every 2 packs, so you could not trust any loose packs. We split down the middle and then shuffled the packs around so we at least have a bit of a surprise. My favorite 5 from this region is Crabrawler from Obsidian Flame, Solgaleo from base set, Golisopod from Paradox Rift, Mimikyu from Celebrations, and Pheromosa from Unbroken Bonds. I would love to show off my complete base set in detail, but I think that'll be a video for another time. Sword and Shield, albeit may be the craziest time for Pokemon cards. I tried to stay away, but got sucked in right back towards the end when Scarlet and Violet started introducing packs. The gorgeous full arts and trainer galleries were impossible to pass on. I mainly bought singles online initially to save on cash flow, both rare and bulk, but it was too tempting not to pass up on a Crown Zenith box from Costco. My favorite 5 in this collection are Thievul from Crown Zenith, Light Toxicity from Celebrations, Balinx from Rebel Clash, Zacian and Zamazenta from Celebrations. I feel like Celebrations is one of my favorite sets of all time, so you might continue to see a few of those. I think Sword and Shield was a great era, full of hype, but not my favorite. Also, I'm skipping Hisui. At long last, Scarlet and Violet, the recession indicator. Enough said. A true monument to the franchise. I never got into lucrative sets like 151 and Prismatic Evolutions, though I dabble in Surging Sparks. This is also the first time I'm holding a salary position, leveraging good financial decisions. I'm going lighter than I would have liked in this era. I had to run a work errand one time and saw people lined up in Target on Tuesday at like 1 o'clock. They said they were supposed to restock at 10. Anyways, I absolutely adore the full arts from this era, the new artists on board, and the interest this sparked in a lot of old friends of mine picking the hobby back up. Very excited to see where the TCG goes from here. Saw a few megas announced for Pokemon ZA, but I think I will be a lot less willing to shell out when booster boxes are triple of what I paid for in high school. My favorite 5 of this generation are anything Mousehold. Unfortunately, Miss Weeb has confiscated the rest. Alafin from Paldean Fates, Dondozo from base set, Slitherwing from Paradox Rift, and Koraidon from base set promo. I have 2. Funny enough, the card binder did not hold all 1,025 Pokemon. I have 1 short, so Pecharunt will just have to be taped on to the back of this binder until the next generation.